There are characteristics that we should consider in choosing an appropriate assessment tool, whether it is conventional or the ICT-based assessment. So we have here 6 characteristics of a appropriate assessment tool. First characteristic we have is it should measure the desired level of performance. What does this mean? It means that this assessment tool should be able to accurately measure the student's achievement of the learning objective set for the course. It should be that this assessment tool should assess whether the student achieved the objective that is set of that program or the course. Another thing is that this assessment tool should be able to assess the student's knowledge, skills, and understanding of the subject matter, and it should be that this assessment tool should be aligned with the instructional goals and objective. So that is the first characteristics. Next is, second is, the assessment tool should cost effective in terms of effort, time, and money. It means that this assessment tool should not be required too much time, effort, or financial resources to implement. No, it should be efficient, and it should be easy to administer, to score, and to interpret, and the cost of this assessment should be reasonable and within the budget of the educational institution. Okay, what if gusto nimo ni nga assessment tool because nice kaayo siya no, sa imuhang objective, or maybe sa imo a tool nga imong gamiton sa imuhang pagtudlo, but then it is out of the budget, no, more than ang iyang cost. So dapat i-consider nato di ay, it should be that this assessment tool kinahanglan i-consider our effort, our time, and money. Third characteristic is useful, that will provide results and information that can be used in making decisions to improve students' learning. This means that this assessment tool should assess the result that should provide a meaningful and actionable information about the student's learning. And the information should be used to identify kung asa na area ang student nag-struggle, and to make informed decision about the instructional strategies and interventions na imong buhaton, because this assessment tool could help you determine where or asa nga area ang student ga-struggle sa iyang academics. And this assessment tool should help the teachers, the administrators to evaluate the effectiveness of the teaching and learning process. So let's proceed to the fourth characteristic. The fourth characteristic is reasonably accurate and truthful. It means that this assessment tool that you are going to choose should be designed and implemented in a way that it minimizes biases and ensure the accuracy of the result. It should measure what is it intended to measure, no, and the result should be a true reflection of the student's performance. And another thing is it should be valid and reliable, because diba, it should be reasonably accurate and truthful. So dapat yun, it should be valid and reliable, meaning that it is consistently measures the intended learning outcomes that you want from the assessment that you give to your students. The fifth characteristic, we have dependable and consistent responses over time. It means that this tool should produce consistent result when administered multiple times under similar condition. It should be that this assessment tool should be able to provide reliable and stable data that can be used not just one time, no, but can be used multiple times to track the student's progress over time. And it should be free from any external factors that could be influence the result. So, kailangan na this tool that you're going to choose for your assessment, no, it should be that dili lang nimo siya magamit, no, for that kuan good siya for that one circumstances, pero pagka next dayon dili na siya, no, dili na similar ang iyahang results, then dili na siya appropriate tool. So dapat di ay consistent ang iyahang result that could be used to track the student's progress. So lastly, we have here the sixth characteristic is the tool should have the evidence of being ongoing, not once and done. It means that the tool, this appropriate tool or this assessment tool should be a continuous process, not a one-time event. It should be integrated into the teaching, the learning process, and providing ongoing feedback and opportunities for improvement. No? So the reason why we have this assessment tool to assist your student and also to know, no, kung asa pa dapat ang improve, no, sa imuhang learning strategies, and it should be that this tool that you are going to choose should have this, no, six nga characteristics. And it also means that it should be used to monitor students' progress, to identify kung asa na areas for growth, and inform instructional decision throughout the course of the program. So these six characteristics, we should consider this one in choosing an appropriate tool, and also by considering these characteristics, educators or we future educators can select or design assessment tools that are effective, efficient, and aligned with the learning goals and objective of the educational program. Now, let's proceed to the rubrics. Now, what is a rubric? A rubric is a tool that is used in education to provide a feedback on students' performance. So, it means that this rubric, it is a set of criteria that outlines what is expected in an assignment or a project. So, kinahanglanon kay ang rubric, no, for you to determine the scoring of your the assignment that you gave to your students, exam, papers, projects, speeches, or e-portfolios. But this rubric, dili kay siya magamit, no, sa grading mechanism in multiple choice and short answered tests. But the main purpose of this rubric is to assist the students' performance. Magina siya ang iyang main purpose. Now, there are two types of rubrics. First is analytic rubrics. Analytic rubrics, it says here that it describes work on each criterion separately, and it utilizes separate holistic ratings of specific characteristics, product, or behavior. What does this mean? It means that this analytic rubric, it breaks down the assignment or the criteria into separate criteria, no, each with its own holistic rating. This type of rubric, it allows for detailed feedback on a specific aspect of the student's work. For example, in your rubric, For example, the rubric that you have is for the reporting. So, in your rubric nabutang dito na it should be that the voice is clear, the voice quality, na siya voice quality dito. So, each of the criteria is tagsa-tagsa siya, separate ang iyahang pag-grade. So, inana siya. So, that is why there is a detailed feedback on the specific aspect of the student's work. Next is we have here the holistic rubrics. Holistic rubrics describe the work by applying all the criteria at the same time and enabling the overall judgment about the quality of the work. It utilizes holistic ratings for a product or behavior. It means that it uses a single set of criteria to evaluate the overall quality of the work. So, sa analytic, it breaks down the separate criteria. But in the holistic, from the word holistic, itself, it evaluates the overall quality of the work. So, it provides a holistic rating from the overall product or behavior and making it simpler but less ang iyang detailed sa feedback compare sa analytic rubrics. It is because holistic man ang iyahang pag-grade, pag-evaluate. So we have here the differences or the advantages and disadvantages of analytic and holistic rubrics. So as what I have said earlier, analytic, each criterion is evaluated separately, while in holistic, all criterion evaluated simultaneously. So overall. So the advantage is that in analytic, there is a diagnostic information. It gives formative feedback because it has a separate criteria, criteria. It break down separate criteria in its own holistic ratings, and it links instruction. It is adaptable, ability to combine scores. But the disadvantage is that it takes more time to evaluate when scoring multiple items kay tagsa-tagsa man gid ang imong pag-grade. While on the holistic, all criterion is evaluated holistically or overall. The advantage is that you can score faster. It is a good summative assessment, but the disadvantage is that the disadvantage is the feedback, less ang iyang feedback, so it does not communicate what to improve and not a good formative not a good formative. So that is the difference of analytic and holistic rubrics. So here are the examples of the ICT-based assessment tools. So we have here first the electronic examination. So I know that all of us have experience na with electronic examinations. So the electronic examination, it is a computer-based testing, and according here that it is more efficient than the paper-based testing. Naman, it is because it is an individualized testing and it has a faster scoring reporting. So mas paspas good, some of our quizzes we have, pag mag-quiz ta online, muditso na din siya after we answer, humanta sa ato ang quiz, na din siya view score, na din score diretso, because in a computer-based testing, faster ang iyang scoring report. The computer-based assessment or the e-exam test is conducted using the personal computer, the PC, or an equivalent electronic device in which the delivery, responses, and assessment are affected electronically. So because it is electronic examination, it means nang gamit yung PC, gamit yung phone. But most of us, I know that we are using cell phones kay kuan siya convenient, madaladaran nimo, and ang uban pod wala gitay PC. So more on our electronic devices, which is our cell phone gid atong ginagamit. Next is the electronic portfolio. So this electronic portfolio, also known as e-portfolio, it is a digital portfolio and a collection, a collection of electromagnetic evidences assembled and managed by a user, usually on the web. So this e-portfolio, it includes inputs of text, electronic files, images, multimedia, blog entries, and hyperlinks, but both of these demonstrations of users' ability and platform of self-expression. So, in other words, this electronic portfolio, muna siya ang kaning kuanan, dito nimo gina-compile, compile all of your uh, all of your, what do you call this one, kaning mga electronic ay kanang sa paper, sa I mean sa digital nga mga exams, quizzes, nagamit og technology. So muna siya ang ga-compile. So here are types of e-portfolios. Number 1 is ideal portfolio, which contains all of the work of the students, and it is not given to provide students grade. Next is the Showcase Professional e-portfolios. It is primarily a way to demonstrate or showcase the highlights of the student's academic career. Next, we have here the Documentation portfolio. It involves a collection of work over time, showing growth and improvement, reflecting students' learning of identified outcomes. And we have here learning e-portfolios, typically created by student as part of learning activity as a way to demonstrate learning and learning process. And lastly, the evaluation or assessment e-portfolios. The teachers are the one who utilize this for both formative and summative feedback. So that sum up our report, and here is our references. Good afternoon, everyone.